Encourage Yourself radio show. It's time to discover you. I'm bringing awareness to what God has for you and how you can walk out any issue in your life. Each week, I will introduce you to a life filled with purpose and how that purpose is being used to glorify God, prescribing tips, tools, and resources on how you can encourage yourself. So now, let's walk by faith and not by sight. Good evening, everyone. My name is Chandra Nicole Gore, and I am a Lens of Faith. I am the CEO and founder of Lens of Faith Speaks, and tonight on the Encourage Yourself series, I have none other than Mr. Karlton Meadows, who is a 20-year United States Navy veteran. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. All the better for being on the show.
Amen. To God be the glory. You know, I got to tell you, you're going to hear some pretty magnificent things here about Mr. Meadows. And as I was reading through his bio myself before the show, I was pretty impressed and intrigued about all that he has accomplished to date. So I want to tell you a little bit about him. Mr. Karlton Meadows is a 20-year United States Navy veteran, currently a fitness engineer and 2020 U.S. Olympic nominee. He entered the Navy's prep school as a candidate of the Boost program, broadened opportunity for officer selection and training. There he began his pursuit of a perfect 300-point score on the physical training test. After being invited to leave Boost, he attended communications training where he was recruited for the run team because of his high PT scores. He was eventually offered an air crew assignment because of his record PT history. He also crashed the computer system with his body fat score after air crew training and his first duty assignment in Spain. He then tried out for the Special Navy SEAL support and began as one of the first fitness instructors. He went on to assist the Navy's fitness enhancement program for remediation of sailors not meeting the nationwide physical fitness standards. He created a 90% success rate for sailors and was awarded by the Secretary of the Navy for his contributions. After retirement in 2008, he began using his experience to train civilians. In 2012, he obtained his bachelor's in sports and health sciences, then his master's in exercise and nutrition science, while training for the Rio Olympics. He failed to achieve that athletic pursuit, but did become America's first and only 45-year-old collegiate track athlete. His fierce spirit conquered many childhood adversities and 3 vehicle totaling automobile accidents, foregoing him into a strong and determined USA track and field 2016 silver medalist as he is today. As he approaches 50 and trains for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, he is now guiding people through an unrivaled fitness experience right here in Riverview, Florida. He has traveled and trained in 23 countries as a former fitness instructor for the Special Navy SEAL support. He has helped unleash your inner champion. His current model.
Wonder if somebody called her. She'll be right back. And here she is. Here's Chandra. Well, seeing as how I'm not a comedian, I won't try to entertain you with jokes, but I guess I can speak to some of the things that she's already pointed out, if indeed you can hear me. Here she is.
Can you all hear me now?
I can hear and see you.
Okay, Good. I want to point out some of your most notable accomplishments, which was being applauded by Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, endorsed by the U.S. Special Operations Command for Personal Trainer of the Year, endorsed by the Department of the Navy for Male Athlete of the Year, America's first and only 45-year-old retired Navy veteran to be a collegiate track athlete, co-author of America's Top Trainers, Answer Your Fitness and Nutrition Questions, 50 plus certifications, trainings, including Cooper Institute, EXOS, TRX, ACE, AIS, MS in Exercise and Nutrition Science. Interviewed by IDEA, Health and Fitness Association, Model for Abs Revealed, published by Human Kinetics, seen on NBC, Fox, CBS, CNN, and Food Network. Lightweight heavy bodybuilding champion, 2016 USA Track and Field silver medalist, Men's Health Fitness Council 2017 and 2018, and National Fitness Hall of Fame. My God, that is a lot. That is a lot right there. But you have to know this, that those accomplishments are not just for you. That's to show someone else that they can do it too. They can strive to accomplish their dreams, their goals, and their visions. So I want to say my hat is off to you.
Well, I'm keeping my own because my hair kind of curly right now. But I will say, you know, we often hear people say, I can do all things through Christ, you know, the Messiah who strengthens me. And that was my motto when I first got sponsored as a triathlete back in 2002. Mm-hmm. And it's the same today. If we say we can do all things, we believe we can do all things, then we have to pursue as much as we can possibly do.
Absolutely.
So that becomes a reality.
Absolutely. This show is called Encourage Yourself. So I'm pretty sure there were multiple occasions where you had to encourage yourself. So tell the listening audience, how did you encourage yourself to achieve the best version of you?
Well, I think knowing that the best version of me was going to bring glory to the Most High's name. And it was going to help me live the model that I said was mine, was that I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And as a scrapper, I've always had to fight for what it was I wanted. I was born in Germany, so the kids in elementary school would tease us and give us the Hitler salute. And I wanted to be like my brother, who was excelling at whatever he did. So it encouraged me to have an in-home hero that was academically excelling, that was athletically excelling. And then my sister behind me, she was gifted. She went to a charter school back in the 70s. So I wanted to try to keep pace with them. Mm-hmm. And I bloomed late. And so when I started blooming, it was on.
Amen.
And one success convinced me that I could pursue and achieve the next goal.
Was that hard?
No, because
mentally, was it hard?
No, because I felt that it was going to give me credibility. I felt that I needed these things, because when we were little, they tell you, grow up, get a good education. And I went to a school in urban, inner city Indiana, Gary, Indiana. And our principal was always telling us we need to be on time. We need to take advantage of school. School is what's going to set us apart, or at least give us a brighter future. Mm-hmm. And I believed it. And so I thought that it would level the playing field. And what I realized after retirement was whatever it took to get me where I was going to have to continue that. I can't just half do it and think that somebody's going to throw me out a handout, or they're going to make an allowance for me. I have to continue to excel at my very best.
Oftentimes people have these visions, goals, and dreams, and they don't realize that they can become a reality. So before I play your video, I'd like you to really, just for a minute or two, talk to the listening audience, to those people that really aspire to maybe one day be a part of the Olympics, or maybe one day just be able to do fitness to a high capacity. You know, maybe they really want to train and really get fit, but they're like stuck at a 200-pound weight, and they like, you know what, just forget it. I just want to give up. I can't do this. Talk to that person real quick.
I think what they have to do is find a true authority. We have a lot of influencers. Just because a person is an influencer and they have hundreds of thousands of followers doesn't mean they know what they're doing. So people have to find a way to vet the people they're listening to. I was told that I couldn't be a bodybuilder while trying to get sponsored as a triathlete. I'm like, who are you to tell me what I can't do? So I went to compete as a middleweight. I was too heavy. So instead of being disqualified, I competed in the next level up, which was a light heavyweight division, and I won. So find out where you can get accurate information for what you're trying to do, learn the fundamentals, and continue to intelligently move forward. People who are stuck may be listening to people who don't know what they're doing, or they're trying to treat them like an athlete. Because what I found with my certifications and my education is the models and the case studies are usually college athletes. I can't just take that protocol and put it on a person that's 40 or 35 and think they're going to get the same outcome. That's disingenuous, or it's just the person isn't very intelligent and proficient in what they call their profession. So find a vetted, credentialed individual that is going to listen to them. The other problem is people have generalized approaches to a very specific problem. Their DNA is specific, their situation is specific, and they need someone to design a specific program for them with their specific goals.
That's I can't even get the words out. But there are a lot of people that fail to even start. Have you ever come across someone that fails to start and they're wondering why they can't get anything accomplished?
Okay, that's why I'm a fitness engineer, because I started in massage therapy. You know, I started with Navy SEAL support and then the remedial program. So that's two opposite ends of the spectrum. Then I got into massage therapy in 1997, 98, or whatever. So I had a more in-depth knowledge of the human anatomy and physiology before I became a personal trainer. And then I went from personal training to biomechanics of resistance training. So I understand how the body is supposed to move, whether it's loaded or not. And so there's more to training a person than telling them to do squats or push-ups. How do you execute the exercise? And that's what's missing. When people see success, I don't have to sell them anything.
Right.
I take people where they are and help them get proficient at what they can do. You can sit down in a chair, you can stand up, guess what? You can squat. I don't need to put weight on your back. So let's get you to feel what the muscles are supposed to do when you're moving, and what occurs in their body sells it for me. They're like, I've never felt that before. You've always had those muscles. Now let's move to another part and help you capitalize on how you're designed and get you to execute the exercise properly. And those small successes convince them that they're going to be successful. And sure enough, they exceed their own expectations.
That makes a lot of sense. I want to say hello to everyone that is tuning in with us on the live. I want to show you all a video about Mr. Meadows here, and we'll be back just 1 minute. Hold what you got.
Quick pop.
It's not a question you'd ask many people.
You have to tell me how old you are.
49. If you talk to insurance companies, they've already tagged me as 50.
But for Karlton Meadows, age is just a number.
He trains practically every day.
After spending 20 years in the Navy.
The Navy was an opportunity for semi-annual pseudo-Olympic competitions.
Meadows retired and hit the ground running, headed straight for the track at the University of Tampa.
And that was it.
But it hasn't been an easy road. Meadows tried qualifying for the Olympics in Rio, but didn't make the cut.
That was a low point.
He wanted to quit, but he had one more event on his calendar, the 800-meter run at the USA Track and Field Outdoor Championship.
I went and I won a silver medal.
A sign not to give up, especially when he learned he was running on injured feet.
I went to the podiatrist after the silver medal race, and he asked me, you realize you have fractures in both your feet.
Wow. Meadows has since recovered. Now he's working with a new coach and taking a different training approach so he stays healthy.
Head up.
And with every step,
Yeah.
he's one step closer to his ultimate goal, the 2020 Olympics.
What does it take to train for the Olympics?
I think it takes a dream first. You got to have a burning dream and then find the resources. I mean, it took me 18 years to finish a 4-year degree, but I didn't give up.
Reporting from Tampa, I'm Melissa Marino.
Wow, wow, wow. That's all I can say is wow. That was huge. That was huge for you. How long ago was that footage taken?
That was December. So
December.
they shot it in December, aired it in February, beginning of February. And like you said, it's all glory and praise to the Most High. I have been at UT in the Master's Program for Entrepreneurship. I'd been in the incubator. I'd been at Synapse. I'd been around a lot of opportunities to be on the news, and it never happened. So it's all about timing. I couldn't make anything happen. And she just sent me a message on Facebook. And when I went to her profile, it looked kind of suspect. So I was like, I don't know. And then she reached back out. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is a real person. So we coordinated and got the interview done. And as you see, it's aired.
Wow. So tell us, let's just dive right into it. Tell the listening audience about your journey as a fitness guru, fitness engineer.
Well, I think not having any athleticism as a kid, but having a lot of athletic ambition, I got used to losing. You know, you see those little inspirational pictures that say, if at first you don't succeed, keep trying. No, if at first you don't succeed, get used to losing. So I figured out how to be more athletically marketable. And it took me a while. I didn't begin to show promise until my senior year when I was the captain of the wrestling team. But even then, there were things I had to figure out, like how to manage my body weight for the different tournaments. And I just kept picking up pieces along the way. And I'd save it in my little tool bag. And then, as you read earlier, I ran track in high school. So I had a decent mile and a half time for the PT test. And in prep school, we had a PT test every week. So I was always pursuing something. And that 300 points was a full-time job for me. And then the Navy was like, well, hey, you can help your shipmates. So I was taking what I knew and sharing it with others. And I got certified, and then I got out, and I was able to use those skills and help people to be successful. I mean, this one lady lost 74 pounds. And so when they see the small victories, they're convinced and they stay committed and they are compliant. So I kind of do like my high school coach. He put me in 800 meter because he saw how I was built. He saw, okay, that's going to be the best ticket for you on the road to being a state champion. I'm like, nope, I'm going to run the 110 meter high hurdles. And when you're not an underclassman, you do get some say. He was like, okay, go ahead. So I like to draw on my experiences and my education and weave it together into a solution that will help the person that has decided to work with me, and they achieve their goal in less time with little to no injuries. They don't have any training related injuries. Mm-hmm. Because I'm cognizant of they need to recover. They need to acclimate. When I start changing up their program, I have to use a little science to guide my intuition. And so it helps them out.
So science is behind the word engineer.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. So when you say that there's a science to it, we're not in the military anymore. So I'm going to ask this question. This may be a little bit tough, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Training the new recruits as they come through basic training, AIT and all that, sit-ups, push-ups, and the run. What do you think about those 3 exercises?
I think for measuring upper body endurance, which is what the push-ups are for, it's okay, but the form, there's a standard. Now in the Army, you guys got a grader, you got a counter, and because I've taken the PT test and I got a coin because they're like, hey, this Navy dude took the test. So I was like, it's just a test. because their mind was Navy folks are fat. So it's pretty. It's a process with oversight in the Army. In the Navy, you can hook up with your buddy, and your buddy could tell you. You could tell your buddy, look, I need 44, and maybe you only do 12. So I think if it's administered correctly, it can measure the upper body endurance. The sit-ups, we actually do curl ups, so it's less stress on the spleen. There's some mixed research on how effective it is, but since we've left, they've changed the PT test to be more like the tasks that have to be executed in the military. So with that being said, specificity should be what guides the design of these PT tests. Now, if you're in the Army, you're gonna have to run. If you're in the Navy,
wait a minute here. So did you just say that they're changing the Navy PT test to
no, they've changed the Army PT test.
Right. Yes, I'm aware of that.
The Navy, I haven't checked on. I mean, they're kind of slow. They've talked about it. It changed while I was in, as far as how it was going to be graded for your overall score. But we still had the push-ups, sit-ups, a run, a swim, or a run-walk option.
Okay. All right. So do you think that the military fitness test teaches the science behind fitness?
No, because when I got certified as a command fitness leader through Cooper Institute, there was a gentleman that went through the same class I did. I guess he didn't understand the word contraindicated. And since I had a background in massage therapy, I'm like, I don't do those things anyway. But he continued to do what he did before he got certified. So the person has to take it seriously, and he has to take the service member's career seriously, because if they don't pass the test, it could mean the end of their career. It could mean they don't get promoted. So I always looked at it from, I'm going to help them be the best version of them, not punishment. It's to help them improve. So it depends on who is in charge of that process.
Okay. Sounds fair. So I'm going to show everyone now your second video, the fitness engineer, to really break down and define fitness engineer for everyone if they're wondering. Okay. So give me just a second.
Hello, I'm Karlton Meadows, and as a fitness engineer, I help busy and successful professionals make sense of the confusing and conflicting information out there regarding exercise and wellness. I create custom programs that help enhance their lives through personal fitness and functional flexibility, so that they have less pain, more energy, more vitality, and more resilience. Now, despite birth defects that required braces on both my feet, I went on to become one of the first fitness instructors for Special Navy SEAL support, and I became America's first and only 20-year retired Navy veteran with service-connected disabilities to make a collegiate track debut at age 45. Now, I personally practice what I teach, and I think winning a silver medal at the USA Track and Field Outdoor Championships helps to demonstrate the effectiveness of the program and how it creates results that exceed my clients' expectations. I'd love to hear what your goals are regarding your personal fitness, so that we can team up and help you exceed your expectations.
This stream. So I hope that helped you all get a better understanding and idea of who Mr. Karlton Meadows is. And we're just going to keep pushing through, because I really believe that there's someone with questions, someone that wants to know more, someone that really doesn't understand, or really like, what is a fitness engineer? What does he do? Or is he just a fitness instructor? So we already told you that there's a science behind fitness. And so that's why he's a fitness engineer. So, Karlton, how have you been able to discipline yourself to achieve so many goals?
I think because, as I said earlier, since I didn't excel in school, I was always trying to prove to myself that I could be like Roger Bannister, that I could be like the folks on the cover of the Wheaties boxes. As a matter of fact, I have a Wheaties box signed by Edwin Moses. I mean, that was another one of my childhood heroes. And so that's what allowed me to stay disciplined, because if I didn't achieve it, well, then I was a loser. If at first you don't see, get used to losing and just accept it and sit down and stop trying. My brother got into prep school. I wanted to go. My junior high school counselor didn't think that I was good high school material, let alone college material. So if you were to tell her, yes, Keith's little brother, Karlton, has 2 master's degrees that he obtained in 2 years. So each master's degree took him a year to attain. She'd be like, you must be talking about his older brother, not him. So I kind of had to fend for myself by achieving the things I set for myself. That gave me credibility as far as I was concerned. It gave me a right to be alongside my brother or behind my brother or pursuing the things that I wanted in the future. I've laid the foundation through small successes.
Sometimes we have to start small. That's why we should never hate on our small beginnings, or never discredit our small beginnings, because we have to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere and be willing to share where we started at. Because a lot of people, you would never hear their story of where they really started. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, I'm a millionaire. Well, where was the start? Some people do get inheritance, I understand that. I understand some people get inheritance, but some people really start from the ground up. And I think that it's critical for us to know where someone really started, especially when they're excelling and they're doing well. Because if I would have never asked you, for your bio or to tell your story, I wouldn't have known that you started off with birth defects and things of that nature. So I think that's critical for people to hear, because there may be someone with birth defects, that need to know exactly what you're saying. There is a way that you can become a fitness guru, a fitness engineer, or just an excel, period, in your dreams, goals, and visions, no matter what deformity you may have. There can be a way. Sometimes, if you're not physically capable, you can do something behind the scenes that's still a part of fulfilling your goal.
Well, let me share this. Critical thinking, or just thinking in general, objective thinking, is not something that we're taught. So I was not going to have somebody telling me what I could and couldn't do, because I did not feel that they had a right to tell me that. The birth defects are one thing. I've totaled 3 vehicles. I've been in 3 vehicle accidents where the vehicle was scrapped, hit head on by a drunk driver driving a Chevy Impala, ran into ice in Nevada. They were all holiday wrecks. So Thanksgiving was the black ice in Winnemucca, Nevada. The second one was Christmas Eve in Gary, Indiana. Drunk driver hit me as I was going over an overpass. And then 2002 was Halloween Eve in Nebraska. And the snow, I just lost control of the vehicle. And so that could have been it. And I was like, no, I had already met a chiropractor that was run over, not hit by a car. He was driven over. Him and his bike got run over by the car, and he was running world championship triathlons. So I knew that I wasn't going to just sit on the injury reserve list because I've been in car accidents. I was shot off an aircraft carrier. So the landing and the takeoff is, it puts some stress on the body, but I hadn't achieved the goal I set to be a world-class athlete. That was a childhood dream. And so I continued to pursue it. There was somewhat of a challenge getting on the track team at UT, but I found out when I could actually run a time trial, and I made it. So I would say, look objectively at what it is you want to do. And again, find an authority. Just because someone has a title doesn't mean they know what they're doing. I see so-called fitness professionals that are easily 50 pounds overweight. If you can't get it to work for you, why should I listen to you?
That's true.
I mean, don't tell me you're a millionaire or you have a 7-figure income and you're overweight. I don't understand that. You can hire a psychologist, you can hire a chef, you can hire a trainer, you can hire. I mean, I just don't get it. So they should use a little discretion or discrimination when they're choosing a fitness professional. Not like racial discrimination, but use some type of standard and look at the person, their credentials, and look at the standard you set for yourself. Do they meet it? Can they produce? And then hopefully they will deal with them as an individual and ask them questions to find out what it is they can do, what are their challenges, what underlying issues do they have, what bad experiences have they had. Because the science tells me there are multiple exercises for an individual muscle group. The person says, look, I don't like squatting. I mean, I get traumatized every time I hear the word. Well, you don't have to squat. We can do something else. And I think that's what science should do. It should allow the fitness professional to have an extensive tool bag.
I agree with that as well. So let me ask you this question. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I can just get by with doing nothing. Why fitness? Why is it so important?
Because there are psychological benefits. So it's going to help me mentally and it's going to help me physically.
Wow.
So for me, I can't go around. I have a temper. My mom, if she needed to go 3 steps short of whooping my behind, then she go 3 steps short. If she needed to whoop my behind, she whooped my behind. But she taught me there were going to be consequences to me losing my temper. So I remember as a kid, I'd get mad. I'd just go run around the block. So as an adult, I can't always go run somewhere. So when I can, I exercise to help mitigate the negative effects of stress, to help put me in a place where I can be calmer instead of always being on edge. And when something happens, I fly off the handle.
I understand that completely. So you said there's a psychological benefit to fitness. And a lot of people may not understand that or may not be aware of that. But I'm glad you mentioned that, because I can honestly say if I get up in the morning and I'm in a crappy mood and then I do some form of fitness, whether it's yoga or really going in doing a hard workout, my mindset shifts. I can honestly say that my mindset, even when I was in the military, and some days I would get up like, I don't even feel like doing PT, but then I actually go do it. My mindset shifts. You know, now I'm like revved up, ready to go to work and everything. Got to get a shower and change to get ready for work. It's like a boost of something for me. I don't know. Maybe it's not like that for everybody, but I do. I feel that boost of energy, a boost of, I don't know, maybe it's the endorphins.
You do have the endorphins. The industrial psychologists understood that as well. So to get people out and moving is going to position them better mentally for the task at hand. You know, they may do things they didn't even want to do. You know, so it wasn't by chance that they made exercise a part of the military. It's more than just, in some cases, it is for morale more so than the physical fitness, because it's catered to the lowest common denominator. So they're trying to find a point where everybody can participate, and most people will go in PT on their own afterwards anyway.
Right. So I can see that. I want to tell the listening audience, thank you so much for tuning in with us.
Yes, thank you.
Please share. Please share. This is some information. If you don't need it, someone in your circle may need this information. So I'm asking you all to please share this out amongst yourselves. If you don't know who I am, if you've never seen me before, my name is Chandra Nicole Gore, and I am a Lens of Faith. I'm the CEO and founder of Lens of Faith Speaks, which is a faith-based motivational speaking company. And I'm here to service servant leaders, helping them to discover their purpose, exercise their power, and walk by faith to live an abundant life. I am here for you. You can reach me any time of day at www.lensoffaith.org. Thank you all. So Karlton, you know, we all should have some type of desire to empower others. And you are empowering people through the power of fitness, being a fitness engineer. So tell the listening audience how you impact your community of care, whether it's on a daily basis, a monthly basis. Just tell us about that quickly.
I think helping people to understand what their capabilities are, that their body is a well-engineered piece of machinery. I mean, I call it a $45 million training interface. Highly adaptive, highly portable. You can take it anywhere, and it can adapt to body weight exercises, to weights, resistance bands, TRX. I mean, it is more than we give it credit for. So when they understand how to actually unleash the power of exercise so that it improves their lifestyle, it improves their quality of life, that's what makes me feel like I'm contributing something. It's one thing to show up and I can always use what the other person is doing. For me, I always felt, okay, I was born in Germany, grew up in inner city on welfare, so I never really felt like I had something to offer. So that's why achieving things is so important to me, so that I know when I come to the table, I have something to offer someone else. Massage therapy opened that door. To see people come in like this and leave like this, I'm like, okay, I can do something.
I used to go in.
I'm so relaxed. It's like, no, you're not relaxed. And then when you tell them to relax, they tense up. So I was like, look, just listen to the music. And I go to work. And they leave with less lumps. And they're like, how did you do that? And this one lady, she came in Spain. Her mom bought her a gift certificate. She came in. I said, you might want to see a doctor, because she had a lot of heat in her glutes. She had a fracture in her pelvis.
Wow.
The body, you're going to feel pulsations. You're going to feel knots. You're going to feel heat. You're going to feel certain things. And that's the body's way of saying, hey, something's not right here. So to be able to actually help and empower someone, that's what helps me feel like I'm being impactful. When I see their lives change, I see their faces, they're like, I never thought I'd be able to do a pull-up. In about 3 or 4 weeks. Women are knocking out pull-ups. They're like, wow. It's like, hey, if you can't do a pull-up now, we're going to train your lats, your rear delts, your rhomboids, your core, so that you can stabilize your body as you pull it up. Wow. And when they do, they're like, you are some guru. It's like, no, I'm intelligently progressing you forward. I'm building the muscles that execute that exercise, and the inevitable happens. You execute the exercise.
That's good right there. That's good right there. I hope someone caught that nugget right there. Say that one more time, Karlton.
Okay, I'll put it this way. We like to make the impossible improbable and ultimately inevitable. So whatever it is you think you can't do, we're going to help move you toward actually doing it, to where it just happens. There's no getting around it, because we're going to target the muscles or the movements that perform the exercise the person feels they can't do, or the exercise that are going to help change their body composition. So science is observable, predictable, and repeatable. We hear a lot about SEO nowadays, search engine optimization. I like to change those around. There's SOE. There's the science of exercise, and there's a sense of excitement. And all too often in our industry, people are concerned with a sense of excitement. Ooh, this is sexy. Ooh, this is the latest trend, blah, 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 blah. What does that person need based on science? Because I guarantee, if the person can be successful in obtaining their goals and not getting hurt, they would much rather spend their money doing that than spend their money buying a gimmick.
The not getting hurt part. Because some people will exercise and they'll hurt themselves. They'll strain their back. They'll hurt their ankle. They'll, pull some muscles in their legs or what have you. So that's important to know. That's important.
I see a lot of accidents waiting to happen, because I walk my dog now, and I see people on bicycles. The seats are too low, so they're going to have knee problems. I see people trying to run. They should be walking. They're 60 pounds overweight. They're increasing the impact on their joints from the ankle up to their neck, and they are struggling. It's like, why are you trying to do that? People don't run. Professional runners don't run to get skinny. They were already skinny. they just excelled at their performance. I could be wrong, but I'm certain there are very few elite marathoners that were once fat.
You're right. I know a lot of people, well, I should say a good 30 that run marathons, and they've never been fat.
So it's not the best way to change your body composition. It's a great way to train your lungs, your cardiovascular system. That's what's called cardiovascular training. If you're trying to change your body composition, we want some resistance training, because when you stop doing resistance exercises, you leave the gym with more metabolically active tissue, meaning your body requires more calories every day because you have activated the muscles in your body through exercise. So when you leave the gym, when you sleep at night, your body's consuming more calories to take care of that active tissue. When you run, you do the exact opposite. You tell your body, get rid of all that muscle because I don't need that to run. So they get fatter. They're losing a more dense tissue that takes up less space. And then because they have less muscle, their body carries more fat. So once that starts to balance out, I was like, okay, we lost muscle, we're gaining fat. So at first they think they're losing weight because they've lost muscle, which is more dense. And then the less muscle they have, the more fat the body stores. So their clothes don't fit. And they're like, well, wait a minute, I just lost weight. Yeah, but the tissue you put on takes up more space.
Now, let me ask you this question, Karlton. So earlier in the show, we talked about, you said the Army thinks the Navy people are overweight.
Fat.
You
My son said, Dad, how does
we'll
the
go with
go
that. Let me ask you,
deployment?
because you were in the Navy, have you ever been overweight?
Okay. No, I've never been overweight for the Navy. I've been overweight for wrestling. I was overweight for my last bodybuilding competition, so I competed in a category above the middleweight. I've been overweight from a athletic perspective because there's a weight class.
Okay.
And I've had to get my body down to the upper limit of that weight class. But I've never been fat. I've always been skinny, which is why they said you can't be a bodybuilder. So I can take the body from skinny to bodybuilder, from bodybuilder to track athlete. That's a part of engineering. Whatever it is, in most cases, whatever the person is pursuing, I've already done it.
Okay. All right. I wanted to just get some clarity right there, because I wanted to see if it was true your fact was about yourself. So I'm glad you cleared that up for me, because I was sitting here thinking, I was like, man, I wonder, was he ever overweight? Because if you were, that means you went against a statistic.
Well, I was 189 pounds last year, and I decided that I needed to get down to 164 pounds for optimal weight for the 800 meters. So I went from 189 to 179 to 175. Today I'm 170. So I give my body a chance to acclimate at that new normal. I can go.
Let me ask you this real quick. Now, the VA has a body mass index chart.
They said I'm fat. When I was 189, they said I was fat. They're like, would you like information on our weight program? I was like, you say work program? I need a job. They're like, no. Our weight program, you're overweight. Your body mass, I was like, what?
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Why do you think their chart is so much different from the military chart?
Well, the military, because
I'm just saying.
It isn't different. The military, they go by, well, at least the Navy, they did a circumference measurement, which was bogus, which is how I crashed the system, because I did bridging exercises to expand my neck, and I did crunches to kind of whittle down my waist. But the height, weight doesn't take into account the quality of the tissue. If my body fat is 10% and I'm 10 pounds over the height weight standard, that's when the taping comes in, when they try to, use a circumference measurement to give a body fat percentage instead of a BMI.
Right. Okay. I'm tracking with that. So, it's been a pleasure interviewing you this evening. I think I've even wrote down a few nuggets myself, because I'm going to have to call you offline and we can talk much further. But give us 3 powerful words of encouragement for tonight.
Impossible, improbable, and inevitable. There's a transition. You know, nothing is impossible. The only impossibility is what we don't pursue, because there has to be a way. I mean, now within reason. But if you have your heart set on something, find out what it takes to achieve it and be willing to do that work. And that's what moves it from impossible to improbable and ultimately inevitable. 18 years to finish a 4-year degree. 18 years. And then I finish a master's degree in a year. And then I go back and do it again. I figured out how it worked. The syllabus, the grading rubric, and I had a nice GPA. My sister said, Mama needs to beat you. How you making these grades now? You weren't doing it in school. I figured it out.
Sometimes we just have to take our time and figure things out. I want to thank you, Karlton, for coming on the show today. And over the next 2 minutes, I need you to really talk to the listening audience about how you personally have been training for the 2020 Olympics despite it being canceled.
Well, the good thing with the cancellation, you know, I had already decided when they started questioning, you know, they started cutting out the NBA, the Major League Baseball. They started canceling championship track meets. I figured, well, the Olympics is going to be next. So I said, it's not that important at this point. And so what it gave me time to do was actually go to physical therapy. I'm in physical therapy for my back. I've got some physical therapy for my neck. So I can take the time to take care of myself, rehab, and then strategize to deliver a most severe beatdown to these youngsters in 2021.
Come on now. Are you ready? You ready?
Oh, I will be ready.
Okay.
You know, the thing is,
to win.
It's the 2021.
2021. What month?
The same months, July and August.
Okay. Is it still going to be in Tokyo?
Yes, it will still be in Tokyo.
Okay. Well, I wish you the best, and I know you're going to do well. You're already a silver medalist now.
Well, thank you. I'm going to keep it in prayer before the Most High, and I'm going to be as smart as possible, intelligent as possible in my training, and make use of the time to recover while I'm training.
Amen. Kathy said, that's right. Seek the positive in the midst of confusion. This gives you time to strategize. Absolutely.
Thanks, Kathy.
I wish I could actually go to the Olympics, but I don't know about that.
And you got a year. You don't know.
I'm afraid.
Hey, you might be an advisor to another country at that time. They say, well, look, we want you to go talk to our athletes.
All right. Lord willing, if that's what God have on my agenda, that's where I'll be.
All right, I can get citizenship. I can get citizenship in Germany and Ghana.
Okay.
So I'll let you know. I'm telling Ghanaians, look, y'all need to call Ms. Gore.
I know that's right. So, Karlton, let everyone know how to reach you if they want more information, if they want to connect with you. Tell everyone where you can be found.
You can find me on Facebook at Karlton Meadows. That's Karlton with a K. You can find me also under the Fitz Karlton, Fitz and Karl on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn under Karlton Meadows, and YouTube is the same thing, Karlton Meadows. And I'm on IG under Gold Medals, Gold, and then my last name, Meadows.
Good stuff. So you're right here in the Riverview area of Florida, sunny Florida. So what are you doing while we're on this shelter in place or whatever they call it?
Hey, I'm being entertained by all this derision that's going on, and I'm taking time to pray and fast and read, because the Most High said he won't do anything unless he reveal it through his prophets. So I'm in Isaiah and Ezekiel and Jeremiah and Joel. It's like, okay, what's going on?
You take before I let you get out of here, tell us, what do you eat every day?
Wow.
What kind of foods do you eat?
Plenty of fruits and vegetables. I started eating black-eyed peas. You know, there was a supplement I started taking in '96, and I just stopped maybe a month ago. And when I stopped taking a supplement and I started eating more black-eyed peas, my body looked better than it did on the supplement. Now, this is a supplement that's helped me to be a bodybuilder. It's helped me run track. It's helped me do all these things. And so I'm doing more plant-based. pastas, greens, black rice has protein, olives and avocados for the heart healthy fats, oats, for fiber, and lots of fruits and vegetables.
You said black rice?
Yeah, black rice. It actually has protein in it.
I never heard of that.
They sell it at Publix, as a matter of fact.
Really?
The Publix right here, by right off of Big Ben.
I'm tracking with you. Wow.
Prepared with a little coconut milk. It's good.
Has anybody in the listening audience ever heard of black rice? Juliana, if you still on, you may have heard of black rice, but I don't know. That's the first time I've ever heard of it. How does it taste? I mean, like regular rice or what?
No. It's not. It has a light nutty flavor to it. You rinse it before you cook it, but it doesn't taste like rice. I mean, it looks like little bit. It looks like a chocolate Cliff Bar.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't imagine it. I have to try that one day. I'll try anything once now. If I don't like it, I'll never eat it again. But I always, discover new things that I may or may not like. So I take my time thinking about it, learning about it, and tasting. I taste things quite often just to see if I like it, because I never know what I'm going to like or dislike if I never taste it. So I tell everybody that.
Couscous and quinoa is another plant to try for protein.
Okay, yeah, I eat quinoa. I do eat that. So I'm tracking on that. So I want to thank you all for tuning in with us today with Mr. Karlton Meadows on the line, the fitness engineer. I pray that this show blessed you, gave you a few little nuggets that you were able to write down and connect with Mr. Meadows whenever you get a chance. If you still have more questions, you can most certainly drop those questions here in the chat box, and I will get those questions to Karlton. Or if you have questions of me, I'll most certainly give you an answer. I want to leave you all with this final word. Psalms 27:4 says, "One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple." I want to tell you all throughout this journey that we're currently going through as a nation, as a world, to keep your eyes fixed on God. To God be the glory. My name is Chandra Nicole Gore, and I am a lens of faith. I appreciate everyone who tuned in to the live broadcast, as well as catch the replay. If you are catching the replay, please hashtag replay, just so I'll know that you were there. God bless you all, and have a great rest of your night. Okay.